It's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Aaron Carter. I'll be speaking on his personality traits and his characteristic traits. I will also be speaking on how he's been able to gain a lot of the success he's endured, and how a lot of his placements contribute to a lot of things. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure that you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone in general who really loves Aaron Carter or really loves his content. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Aaron Carter was born on December 7th, 1987, so this qualifies him to be a Sagittarius. And with this placement, he tends to be someone who would be very merry, would be very happy, and they love to have a lot of different adventures. They love to have fun. So adventures is one of the ways for them to have that. He tends to be someone who's very much witty, so he just knows how to make other people laugh and just is very fun-loving. He tends to be very spirited in a good way and very energetic, and he's someone who has a lot of physical energy within himself that needs to be released, so he needs to find the best ways to release it. He's someone who is very much curious, he's very generous, he's very idealistic, very sociable, very cheerful, and very positive. And those are the traits that he really did exemplify, and that's something that really gave him a lot of light. Next up would be his moon in Cancer. So actually having this placement is very well because moon is ruled by Cancer, and they're very much a water sign, so they tend to be very emotional. They're going to be honest with their emotions and be very great with them. They tend to be very sentimental and love the small things in life, loves the little things, and they do tend to very much have intuition. They're very intuitive. They know how you feel and they know how they feel as well. They're very in tune with their emotions, so they're not going to hide them. They're very sensitive to others and they're sensitive to life. They're very intuitive. They know everything that goes around them. They're very caring people. It comes with Cancer placements. They tend to care a lot. They're very much committed in a relationship. They're very protective of their loved ones. They're very nurturing. They have great memories, and they are just great people to be around. Next up would be his Mercury in Sagittarius, and I know sometimes this placement can be a little difficult because it is not ruled. It's actually not a great placement. However, it's a very nice placement to have in my opinion because they're great with discussions. They're great at discussing with people how they want to look at life and how they talk about life. They are very much resolute in their convictions, and they tend to have a very enthusiastic and uplifting nature. They do tend to be natural learners and natural teachers. They're very philosophical and they're very much frank with what they say. They're very verbally eloquent, and they're great entertainers. They will be able to talk about any topic. They communicate strongly but does not always speak clearly. That has to do with them not being ruled by Mercury, and they're very positive. Next up would be his Venus in Capricorn. So this is a very interesting placement. They tend to be very much mature, and they want someone mature in a relationship. They want someone who's responsible, someone who's hardworking, very successful in life, and socially validated. They do like to impress themselves and others with intelligence and their determination, so they just know that they're going to keep going on. They love predictability in their relationship. That's something that they need. They tend to be loners, but that's part of them being cool. They have to appear to others as important to them. They're very conservative and maybe shy but try to hide it. They love to be warm and tender, even though they may feel as though they're not or seem as though they're not. They're very old-fashioned in their ideas. They want someone who they can count on, and they need wealth and status to feel safe, and their emotions are through actions. Next up would be his Mars in Scorpio. And this is actually a great placement to have. And they tend to be the types of people who will get anything by any means necessary. They will usually have a lot of willpower and loyalty to others. They like control, and they often seek it out in relationships because that gives them an important feeling. They just love to have fun with their partners. They're very much intuitive in regards to what they should go into and what they should not go into. They have a magnetic feeling about them, and they have excellent stamina as well. They're also the types of people who are very much ambitious. They're going to work hard to accomplish everything that they want. And because they know everything takes time, they're very much diligent as well. So they're going to have the patience needed in order for them to accomplish all of their goals. Next up would be his Jupiter in Aries, and he tends to have energy for travel. So that had a lot to do with his career. He was a singer, an actor, so that's something that helped him a lot by having this placement. He loves to challenge things and meet them head on. So he's not afraid of confrontation. He actually loves to look at things in that way in order to accomplish things. He loves engaging in new opportunities. He's someone who is the luckiest when he's the boss, and he has a lot of progress when he's relying on his own opinions and abilities. He's very much a person that loves looking at new opportunities. He has a very much active energy, and he's very open to others, and he just loves to be very open-minded. But sometimes it can be a little difficult because when you do have this placement, you tend to be very much impulsive. So working on impulsiveness is something that's important. Next up would be his Saturn in Sagittarius. He tends to focus on one thing at a time until he masters it. And he's someone who is basically conservative as well on different things. And he respects traditional authority figures. And he's very thankful and supportive of the laws that govern his life. He's someone who loves to learn and accept new ideas only after having thoroughly examined them. Ideas and different concepts are important to him only if they're used in some practical fashion. He is someone who's very practical, very orderly, and he has a great skill in planning, administering, and organizing. These are things that he's very great at, he's very talented in, and these are the type of things that people with Saturn and Sagittarius are great at. But they do have the struggle of patience and perseverance, and this can be hard, but he tends to have a lot of adventure and challenges. Next up would be his Uranus in Sagittarius. And with this placement, he tends to be someone who is of a Renaissance person. So he likes to dabble in everything. That's such a cool vibe because he was a musician, and being able to dabble into different things is very important and very essential because you're able to gain inspiration to make music. And with this placement, he's someone who has a tendency to think of all the ideas, customs, and traditions from the past that are outmoded and irrelevant. And he's attracted to radically new ideas, philosophies, and religions that will hopefully cause sweeping changes throughout the world. And the previous placement gave him his stellium in Sagittarius, but he has a lot of Sagittarius tendencies because he has more than 3 Sagittarius placements in a planet. So he tends to be the person who has a lot of Sagittarius places. He's also someone who has a Neptune in Capricorn, and because of this, he's someone who likes to focus on ways to increase his power, wealth, and influence. This is something that he was able to do, and he was very great at that. And he's someone who is a part of a generation that has the ability to idealize work. So they love to work, they love to do different things. He's someone who's very practical and has the ability to attain reasonable goals. And he was very talented at that as well. But because he's also someone who was stressed the need to be selfless and giving, he may find it difficult to attain his goals unless he has lowered his expectations on all fronts. And this is something that makes sense about him because he is very selfless. He was very selfless when he was alive. And he did lower his expectations on all front in regards to his career because he could have made it a lot farther, but he's very nice and he was very sweet in regards to that. Next up would be his Pluto and Scorpio. And because he was born between 1984 and 1995, this qualifies him to be a millennial. And he's someone who's always looking deeper into any situation. And he's going to discover what's going on behind the scenes. He's very great at that. Scorpio placements are very great at that. So they know what's going on. Libra, Pluto know what's going on with society. Pluto and Scorpio, they know what's going on because of Libra, Pluto, and they're trying to go deeper as to how to change the situation. So they're the types of people who love to see things that are maybe scary to previous generations, which he did a lot. He's someone who has a lot of intensity. He loves to make collective issues conscious, and he's someone who used to have a lot of isolation and hopelessness that did kill his spirit, and that's something that really comes with this placement in a negative way. He's someone who may have had a thought of collective movements, and that's why he did a lot of the things that he did. Up next would be his North Node in Pisces, and with this placement, he would have needed to uncover these hidden gifts and talents in order for him to develop the attributes needed. He is someone who would be non-judgmental, very compassionate, surrendering anxiety to a higher power, freeing the mind through meditation and self-reflection, focusing on the spiritual pathway, trusting in positive outcomes, acknowledging connection with the universe, welcoming change in his life. Other things would be accepting the truth of the unknown, learning the way of the healer, helping others through their pain, connecting to his inner faith, pursue life with intuition, learning that not everything can be explained through logic, also focusing his energies on serving without judgment, finding comfort in the ability to heal and inspire others, and surround himself with people who won't take his kindness for granted. Up next would be his Chiron in Gemini, and with this placement, he may have had the wound of speaking, so it would be difficult for him to speak his truth, and sometimes he may have had the karmic energy of someone whose voice was unheard or judged of, and because he's afraid of being misunderstood, he can be hypersensitive to how others receive his words. He may feel rejected in conversations, and his thoughts may have been scattered, and it can be confusing to others. To heal, he would have been able to be sensitive to his inner language and accept his unique way of processing his thought, and that's something that I would say he did have when he was alive, because sometimes he was not able to articulate himself in the best way, or a lot of judgment would come from what he did say. So that is something that he did have to deal with. Up next would be his Ascendant/Rising in Sagittarius, and with this placement, he loves to explore and travel. He was restless and active. He's very direct, and sometimes it can be perceived as being very mean. He's very optimistic. He loves to share his opinions. He's very lighthearted and charismatic. He needs freedom and independence. He's someone who likes everyone to be happy around him. He's curious, and especially towards spirituality and philosophy. He's someone who's very confident in himself as well. He's someone who tends to be very liberal-minded, very optimistic, very humanistic, and he's someone who's very lucky, and he was very much carefree in his life. This really does explain his Sagittarius rising, or his character, because he really matched a lot of these traits, and that's something that makes him recognizable and what made people really love him a lot. Last but not least would be his midheaven in Libra, and with this placement, he tended to have this type of image in regards to the public of being poised, being very diplomatic, being very fair, accommodating, and deliberate. He's also someone who loves to mediate conflict. That's something that he had the image of doing. In regards to his career, he loved public relationships, And he loves curating his looks, so he always looked different all the time. That's something that made him very distinct and different from others. He's someone who loves to be educated and cultured and learning about different things. He's very much sacrificial in regards to his image and very special. He's someone who's uniquely gifted, internalized, and he had the public image of being charming and just being a fun person. So this really does describe his midheaven. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Aaron Carter's natal chart. Please let me know down below what his favorite song of yours was. And also let me know, did you learn more about him as a person in regards to his natal chart reading? And please make sure you guys let me know what was his best trait. Also, please let me know who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, that like button, and that share button. And last but not least, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media accounts from Pinterest down to TikTok. Please make sure you're supporting my Etsy store and my PayPal, which are linked down below, and as well as my podcast. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.